it's Michelle with Pink and Maine. Thanks so much for joining me today. We're going to be doing a little planner spread or layout in our journal for February 2026. So I hope you'll join along. Okay, so if you didn't see my January planner layout and spread, you can go back and watch that on our YouTube channel. But I'm trying to do a spread every month where I'm doing a little pocket page layout and then also using the calendar pages, just trying to do something creative for myself for the year. I have lots of fun doing this and planning it out. So I'm going to be using, like I said, our calendar journal pages. I'm just going to use the monthly. We're going to create for February. I'm going to be using the February rub-ons. Really cute. I love the little love theme that we have going on this month. But first, I'm just going to slide this up out of the way. We're going to be making our pocket pages. So this month, I'm going to try to use a different one each month. This month, we're going to use the one that's split into 3 pockets. So see, I have a pocket in the middle, one at the top here, and then one at the bottom. And these pockets measure about 2 3/4 inches tall by 5 inches wide. So that's what I've cut my papers. The papers I'm using are from our So Retro pattern paper pack, and I thought the colors in that paper pack matched the February rub-ons really well. And they're just kind of some fun retro looking patterns. I've also used some of our glitter paper packs to do some of my die cutting. So I basically have 2 layouts that we're going to do because I want something on the front and the back of my pocket page. So I'm just kind of laying out what I had planned out, and then we'll go over it and we'll put it all together. I did the planning for this back in January, so I'm just kind of reminding myself, okay, how did I want this to go? So now that I kind of see the layout for the front and the back, these little pages here are for our back side. This is going to be the front. So I used our Big Love die cut set, and it has some different words that you can make: love, love you, lovely, in this nice bold font, and it's got some hearts to go along with it too. So I've cut out love with the pink glitter, and then in silver glitter paper I cut out some hearts, and for the V I'm going to use this big heart right here. So we're going to spell love. I've got a few little glittery hearts to go down here on this bottom portion. And then on the top portion, with our stitch circle dies, I cut out a pink glitter stitch circle, and then I just cut some off the side of the circle so it can look like it's kind of going off the bottom of the page there. And then I cut out of white cardstock another smaller stitch circle that will go in the center of the pink glitter one, and I cut off again part of that circle. And that's where we're going to stamp our February 2026. So we're going to do some stamping. So we can go ahead and do that first. I'll set all my pieces aside. Okay, so I have got some of our planner stamp sets. This one here has the days of the weeks in 2 different looks, and then we've got the dates here in circles, like solid circles, or we've got the dates here just your numbers, just plain numbers. We also have a few little banners that say birthdays, to do, goals, and then a blank one that you could put what you want. And then we have more of the monthly stamps. So we've got the months in this beautiful hand-lettered font. And then we've got the months just kind of bold and simple. So I'm going to use the bold and simple this time for the February. Last month in January, we used the nice script font one. So we can kind of mix it up. Give a different look each time. So I'll take our February, and I've got one of our acrylic blocks. Our acrylic blocks are tinted pink, but as you can see, they're clear. You can see everything through them. They just have a little tint of pink. One, because I love pink, and two, it makes it easy to see when they're on your desk. You can see them a little easier. I've never stamped this stamp before, and our stamps are high quality photopolymer stamps. They're made in the US. They don't need any kind of scrubbing or rubbing to condition them. I just like to stamp on a scratch paper. So I'm just stamping on the back of my glitter paper. I stamp it once. It came out great. So then to condition it even more, I'm just going to stamp all of that ink off of the stamp. Just that kind of is the way I condition my stamps. Now we're just ready to go. So I'm just going to ink it up. I'm using the Pink & Main Lakeside ink pad. It's a nice, beautiful teal. It matches the teal in our So Retro paper pack. And I'm just going to stamp it just like so. And normally what I do is I take the stamp, I have our microfiber cloth, and I'll just rub it off on the microfiber cloth to clean it. I don't have a cloth here on my table, so I'm gonna put it back on the carrier sheet that it came on for now, and I can always go back and clean that later. Or I might even just clean it, rub it off before I use it the next time. I'm not a super stickler about cleaning the stamps. So now I want to do our 2026 after our February. Let's see. So again, I'm going to use these the 20 and the 26, and we'll just stamp those together. So I'll get them out and ready. And I'm going to stamp them in our Dress Shop ink pad. These inks are dye inks, and they have a nice foam pad that helps them stamp beautifully. All right, so we'll do the 21st, or shall I say we'll do the 20 to begin with. Sounds like I'm saying 21st instead of 20. I'm going to stamp it up there towards the top of the bee, and I'm going to put the 26 underneath it, and then we have February 2026, and it's just stamped kind of fun. There we go. February 2026. I like that. Put our ink pads away so we don't get anything inky and messy unnecessarily. And I'm going to go ahead and put my 20 and my 26 back where they belong. Okay, so now I can start to assemble our little parts of our page layout here. Whenever I'm adhering paper to glitter paper, I like to use a strong adhesive like our Easy Squeeze Craft Glue. So the liquid glue is going to hold to that glitter paper really well. The glitter has some texture to it, so it's just going to grab onto that texture and give a nice strong hold. And before I add my hearts, I am going to go ahead and glue this down. But I want to add my hearts last so I can see what the entire layout is going to look like. All right, and then we will put our middle section together next. Let me get my word love here. Let's see how we can, I know some of the letters need to overlap a bit so that it fits, but I like that. I like when everything kind of overlaps and works together. So we'll do something just like that. All right, so I want to put down the O and the V, or the heart that's going to be the V. I'll put those down first, so I'm kind of getting them in the center of the page. Once I have those like I like, I'll just add our L and our E. And creating little layouts like this for your journal or your planner or even your scrapbook, it's just like card making. You're just making decorative layouts of papers and die cuts and stamps, just like you would a card. There's the middle of our layout. I love that glitzy glitter paper on there. So now as we put the three together, we can start to decide where we want our hearts so that everything kind of moves and grooves and looks nice together. There's a nice flow to it all, I should say. And I have two patterns that have colors on that off-white background, and I broke them up by putting the teal in the center. So I think maybe these hearts should go in this corner if the top hearts are going to go on the other side. But let's check it out. I think I may want one of the hearts here to fill in a little bit of that white space. my date is kind of small inside that semicircle. I might just use the 2 hearts there, and then down here use the 3 hearts over on this side, so we kind of create that nice little diagonal look. And then I'll have an extra little heart that we might can use on another part of the layout. So let's go ahead and glue our hearts down. There's that, and then we'll do the ones on the top. And now with everything glued down, we can go ahead and put these in our planner pockets and see how they're going to look all together in here. There we go. There is our layout. I love it. That's the front. So let's assemble what's going to go on the back. Again, I have 3 little panels. This time, my center panel is a piece of our dot grid journal paper, and that way I can write on there. I've got the rub-on that says important dates, and I'm going to put that here, and then I can put any important dates for February on this paper. I can write it down. The other 2 again are these same 2 patterns that I have on the front. And I'll go ahead and assemble the bottom one. So I've got that. I've got a strip that's about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches thick of that really pretty pink glitter paper. I think that might be in our spring glitter paper pack. And then I've got a strip that's just 1/4 inch thinner, so it's about 1 inch if the glitter is 1.25 inches. and it's from our Salon cardstock, which is a 110-pound pink cardstock. And then I've cut out from that big Love You dies. It also has the little script font to kind of offset the big chunky love words. We've got this little script font that says love and you, so you can put those together or you can use them separately, but I'm going to use them on here and I'm going to have it say love you. So we're going to glue down our glitter paper strip first. Then we'll adhere down our strip of Salon cardstock. And there's what we have so far. And now we can glue our little love you sentiment, which I've also cut out of some silver glitter paper. Now we'll do the U. I think I'm going to add that little pink heart just above there from the first layout where we didn't use it. Like so. So that's the little bottom part of our layout. Now the top and the center are going to go together because I've got this little heart here that I've cut apart so that the bottom of it goes on this sheet and the top goes on this sheet. This heart die cut is from our, I believe it's called the Scribbled Hearts or Sketched Hearts. It's going to go like so. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it on the top piece first so then I can match it up on the bottom one. but the top piece is bigger, so I want to make sure that I get it fit first because that is smaller. And if you put it in the wrong space, then the top part might not fit where you want it. There it is at the top. And then I'm going to line these pieces up so I know where to glue the bottom of the heart. There we go. Isn't that fun? I like how the big heart carries on to both sheets like that, kind of pulls them together. So now we're going to do our important dates rub-on. So I've cut it off of the sheet of rub-ons, and I'm just going to carefully remove the release paper that's at the back. And you don't want to touch the back of this that's where the adhesive for the rub-on is. You want to touch it as little as possible. You don't want the oils from your fingers and stuff getting back there too much. We're gonna lay it here on our paper just where we want it. And then I'm just gonna rub it on with the little popsicle stick that came with the rub-ons. You can use other tools as well, as long as you can give some nice, good, even pressure. And then I'm just going to peel it away. There we go. And now, as you're peeling it slowly, if you notice that part of the rub-on didn't attach to the paper, you can lay it back down and then rub that part on again. It's very forgiving and easy to fix little things like that. So now we have the back part of our layout for our planner pocket page here. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in. And just slide right behind the front. So here's the front again with that big bold love. February 2026 will be the introduction to the month of February in my journal. And then on the back we've got that big heart. I can pull this out and I can write my important dates. I've got the little love you at the bottom. I like that. It's going to look really good in my journal. So now let's do our calendar pages. I've got the front of the calendar page. When you open it up, see here you've got your calendar layout, but on the front I've got this grid, and we're going to decorate that by adding another little decorative layout on the front. I've cut a large piece of silver glitter paper, and this is just something I had in my stash, and I just cut it a little bit smaller than the grid paper here, so it kind of goes right down the center. So I'm going to glue that on. And when you're laying this down, you can kind of use your grid paper as a guide to get it nice and straight. Next up, I cut this piece of pattern paper from our retro paper pack. It's the nice thing about our paper pads, because they're 8.5 by 5.5, you can use them for lots of different projects, including larger ones like these journal spreads. So I cut it about 1/2 inch smaller than I cut my glitter paper. So it has a nice little border around with the glitter. So we're going to glue this down. So here's our layout as we have it right now. I've also cut some little squares for the inside of our calendar layout, so we'll use those in a moment. So for this layout, I've cut 3 hearts from our double stitched heart dies, and the reason I call them double stitched is because you can cut the heart out and the heart has stitching on the inside. You can also cut the heart out of, say, like a square piece of cardstock, and the stitching of the heart will be on the outside where you've cut that heart out. So it's kind of nice. You could use it in a lot of different ways. So I've cut 2 out of our Salon pink cardstock, and I've cut 1 out of that retro paper pack and that teal pattern I'm going to put there in the center to kind of make it pop. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the center one down now that I have these placed nicely and they're evenly spaced. There we go. And before I add the other 2 hearts, I want to put the rub-ons on them. So I chose 2 little fun rub-ons. This one here at the bottom says all you need is love. So I'm going to go ahead and rub that onto the heart. Again, I've cut it from the sheet. I'm going to remove the release paper off the back. And I'm going to put it right in the center of that heart, and then we're going to rub it on. I'm going to slowly start to peel it up at the corner. I can tell that. And then as I peel it up, I'm going to continue to rub to make sure the entire image gets placed onto the paper. Again, like I said, if you notice a part of it is not adhering down, you can just lay that part down again and rub a little more and it will adhere. I've got a little piece of my L that didn't come out So I'm just going to rub that on. There we go. So now we have All You Need Is Love on that one. Really cute. The All You is in pink, so it's a little harder to see on the pink, but I can see it there. Hold on. Let me see. Stick this down. Good. This one's fun. The next little rub-on that I've cut out says Tacos Are My Valentine. So I'm going to remove the release paper from the back. How fun is that? Put that down and then we'll just rub it on. There we go. And I peeled it up and I see that I've got a little corner of my taco still on that clear paper, so I didn't rub that well enough, so just put it right back where it goes and then we just rub it right on there. And that's what I mean by these rub-ons are really forgiving. See, Tacos Are My Valentine. How cute. I really like that. They take just a tiny bit more work than putting a sticker down, but the look of them is so different than a sticker that would have all the white around it. It's just right down on my paper. So let's glue our two hearts down. And there we have cute, simple layout for the front of our February calendar pages. I love it. We're going to be using our rub-ons next. So I'll have them here and ready. But the first thing I want to do is I just want to fill in some of these squares with pattern paper and some glitter paper just to match the layouts that are in front of the month. And I believe you'll want to get a little ruler and measure. I believe they are 1.25 inches by 1.25 inches. But you want to make sure you measure beforehand just to make sure. I'm just remembering that off the top of my head. And these look about 1.25 inches. They're a little bit more than 1 inch, so I think they're 1.25 inches. But there, I just got 5, and I could just create a nice little layout where they're spread across. And that's just going to give a little extra color and design to the look of my month. If you want to leave all of your squares to where you can write something in all of them, then you definitely can, you know, bypass this step and not use the papers like this, but I just like the look that it gives, and so I'm just going to add them in. This is all about making your journal or your calendar, your planner, the way that you like it. Something that makes you smile and something you enjoy. Okay, so now we'll pull our rub-ons over and we'll take a look. I know I want to put that really pretty February up at the top, and then we'll need our days of the week to put across that top bar as well so that we've got our spread going. So I'm first just going to cut out this February here. Oh, that's going to look really pretty up there. And then let's also cut out the days of the week. So one thing I noticed too, the days of the week have these little pennant flags out next to them as decoration. I really like that, but on some of them I may have to trim that off just so that they flow across the page without overlapping too much. So I'm going to rub on the February 1st. Let's take that release paper off of there. And I'm going to get it as close to the top as I can so that that heart doesn't go down into my weekly bar there. And it does fit. It fits perfectly right in that space up there at the top. This is my favorite way to rub them on to make sure I'm getting good adherence. I'll start and lift up the edge here. And as I'm pulling it away from the paper, I'm rubbing against it. And that way I'm making sure that all of that rub-on is getting adhered to my paper. There we go. That looks beautiful up there. I love it. So now we'll start with the weeks. I'm going to keep the release paper under here, and I'm just going to try to expose the Monday so that I don't have to cut them each apart. I'm just going to be really careful that I don't rub against anything else other than the Monday down to the paper. There we go. Same thing with Tuesday. And so far they're fitting nicely in there with that little banner flag at the end. I think the one that might give me an issue is Wednesday, just because it's also the longest word. So it takes up the most space. There we go. And I apologize that I'm doing this sideways. I have to keep it where I can easily rub it on and do it. I have weak hands and arms, so reaching across the table and doing it with the paper perfectly aligned and straight for the camera isn't always ideal for me, and getting it worked out just right. So I apologize that I'm doing it sideways or a little upside down for you, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting everything rubbed on nicely. And as I put Wednesday here in the space, it does work out perfectly because it has a smaller little banner at the end. So it does fit nicely in the space. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Next up will be Thursday. And Thursday is actually going to run right off into the hole of the page, but I'm going to do just the part that will fit there, and it'll be good. There we go. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll finish off with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on this side. So I will finish these and I will join you again when I'm done. You don't need to see me rub on each and every day the same. So now we have our month at the top and we have our days of the week. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply our dates. So I'm just going to cut this little strip of dates off up here. Okay, So if you want to be extra careful, you can cut each date off separately and rub them on. I, again, am going to do like I did with the weeks. I keep them together, but I'm going to be very careful to just rub one at a time. And I'm going to keep the release paper underneath most of it, so I'm only exposing one and rubbing one on. So I know February 1st was a Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and put the first there and rub it on, being very careful not to rub any of the other numbers around it. And now that I have the first down, I'm just going to go and do the entire month. This year, February has 28 days, so I'll do 1 through 28, and I'll join you again once I have the days of the week and the dates filled in on my planner pages. And now, with the magic of video, I have the entire month planned out with all the dates on there, the weeks, days of the week, and the month. I love how that turned out. Super cute already, and we haven't even really started decorating it too much, so we've got some more fun things to add to it. I love the dates this month, this little speech bubble with the date and the little heart at the corner. It's really cute. So let's jazz this planner page up and let's add some more decorations to it. We've got lots of cute, fun little rub-ons that we can add to this month. So, where shall we begin? Let's look at this page also. We've got this nice little block down here with the lines. And just like last month, I think I'm going to add it down here in the right-hand corner. If you like things kind of consistent looking or keeping things similar, these planner rub-ons can definitely help you do that, because each month is planned out very similarly with a lot of the same elements, so that you can be consistent throughout the year with each monthly layout that you do. And of course, you can always mix and match and move them around and place them wherever you like. Let's start to peel up the corner here. Let's see what we're working with. There we go. There we have our nice little spot in the corner where we can highlight anything that we want for the month. You can even add a little title to that. So let's do that real quick. And I'm going to make that a spot for goals. Just some goals for the month that I want to work on. I also cut out, along with the goals, the to-do list, because I'm going to add that at the top of the column here. I'm going to cut those apart. So we'll add our goals down here, and we'll add our to-do list up here at the top. Remove the release paper from the back. Line that up just like we want it. And we'll rub it on. There we go. And then I'll do the same with the goals down here at the bottom. Remove the release paper. I'm going to put that right on top of our little list box there, and we'll rub it on as well. And voila. So now we have a little highlighted box for goals that are important to do. To-do list. You can even break this up. I think I did in January, put another little list here in the middle. Let's see. Now I want something. I think I'm going to use one of these borders to go across the top. So I will cut out, let's do the striped border across the top of the layout. All right, the release paper came off. I'm going to flip this upside down just to add this. Like I said, it's easier for me to do it right at the edge of the paper here. So I'm going to kind of lay out where this is going to fall and see where I can cut it. I'll just cut it right there. And then I'll put this half right here going over to the month. Okay, so now we have part of our little strip there at the top. I like that. I will say, next time I'm going to wait to decorate this side of my calendar page until I have all my rub-ons decorating on the other side. I find the only issue I'm having with the rub-ons is it's a little harder to rub it when you come across like the ridges of the papers that are over here. It's not impossible. I'm getting great perfect rub-ons, but you have to be careful and rub real hard against the edges of the papers on the other side. So I do think it's better if we wait and decorate this side after we've have our rub-ons on this side. So now I want to line up my 2 pages momentarily so that I can get the strip going across to be in the right spot with the other side. Just like that. And this side will be a little bit easier to rub on, like I said, because there's nothing on the other side of this paper. No extra papers glued down yet, so there's no bulk on the other side to rub up against. All right, so now we have this so far. Still more decorating to do. This is the backing for the rub-ons. I keep these and I do a lot of stenciling on these because they're nice weight paper, and you can always stencil or get them real messy and then just toss them, and I don't feel like I have wasted some paper. I've actually repurposed and used it again, so just a little something I like to do with those. I think up in the top corner, I want to put these balloons right here that have the little arrow going through the strings. I think that's really cute. So take the release paper off the back, and we'll put that right up there in the corner and we'll rub it on. These rub-ons are really fun. You'll notice they have some really nice fine details that you can get. Super cute. I like that. All right. So we've got another little balloon. I think we have to add it somewhere. Let's add it to this little square up here, so it kind of brings in the balloons from the other side. That one was nice and simple. Now these little images here, I think I'm going to save these and create some cards with them because I think these would be really cute for cards. It's Wi-Fi plus pizza equals love, and then we've got this little pizza heart. So I think that would be really cute on a card. And also this little camera right here where the strap of the camera goes up into a little heart and it says "We Just Click." I think that would be really cute for a card as well. So I'm going to save those for some cards. But I am going to take this is just a little something, but I think it's really cute. It's a little flag and it says love going across. And you can almost, I mean, just stick these things anywhere. I'm going to put this one right on the 14th, which of course is Valentine's Day. So I've got my little love there on Valentine's Day. I think we also need a heart or something there. We've got a few. Let's see, half the fun is just deciding where you want what, right? Because there's so many cute little decorations. There's places for bills, paying bills, appointments. So many ways you can decorate your calendar pages or your journal spreads. So I've got this little open heart with some flowers and other hearts around it. And I'm going to add that to the 14th as well. There we go. just cutting out a few more elements here that I think I definitely want to use. We've got different little arrows that you can point to certain things. I'm going to put, I've got this word love here. We'll use that also. I'm going to use the chocolate covered strawberry to decorate somewhere. But first, I love this little speech bubble with the heart. And I'm going to put that on the 4th. The 4th of February is my dad's birthday. And he's no longer with us to celebrate his birthday. But I always will remember his birthday as something special. So I always want to put a little something special on that date. So you can always just make things yours. Just something special to remember certain dates. Now let's figure out, let's put this strawberry kind of, I don't want it to cover the whole day in case I have some things to write down. So I'm going to put it just kind of in between these two dates right here, just to add some fun little elements. There we go. How cute is that? I love that little drippy chocolate strawberry. It even has sprinkles on it. How fun. Now I'm going to put something down in this corner down here. I really like this little arrow with the hearts hanging from it, so I'm going to put that down across those two dates at the bottom. I've got a really pretty outline of a heart with some more flowers. I definitely want to add that somewhere. Let's see if we can cut out this arrow to use next. There we go. This is looking really cute. Getting some nice little decorations on here. Now let's go over to this side. I've got this little word love that I'm going to put up here in this block. I'm just going to turn it so I can reach it a little easier. And then I've got this little kind of strip with the little ends that create like little banner ends. And I'm just going to put that right underneath, kind of highlight that word love there. And just like so. I've got another heart here with flowers. I really like that. Let's put that down here. It's kind of going across 2 days again. Maybe right over here. These are also nice down here. They're just little speech bubbles with hearts. So if you have little notes to place here or there, wherever on your pages, you can put one of these and then your note next to it. That would be really cute. We've got these little semicircle little tags or flags, you could say, that you could put on different dates. I'm going to cut out this pink heart here. I think we need to use that somewhere. All the hearts. We've got appointments, again, different trackers that you can use wherever that you like on your layout. I'm going to cut out some of these little half circle flags and place them. So first we've got this little pink heart, and now I'm kind of looking at my layout, and I want to balance it out and feel like your eye flows, that things look really nice. So I'm going to put a heart just here in the corner of February 1st. Just because I like it there. Sometimes you just put things just because you like how it looks right where you want it. So we've got our little heart, and then I've got two of these little semicircle little flags or tags. So let's see. And again, you may want to add some of these weight throughout the month to see where you need, like, you know, certain dates or certain things to write down in certain places. Okay, friends, I think I'm going to call this done. As I fill in my month and as it's going and write things down, I might want to use some other little tags or flags that we have in our rub-ons. And I also, like I said, I leave this blank. I can put whatever I want. I can doodle, I can write notes, I can put things for the next month. Just anything you want to remember or take note of. But here is our February calendar spread for my journal. And then here is our planner pocket layout to go in the front of the month. So fun, just something to put in the front of the month. Just makes me happy to have colorful, decorated things. We're crafters, so why shouldn't our journals, our planners be fun, decorated, and look like we are creative people, right? All in good fun. Thank you so much again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the layouts and spreads I did for my February 2026 planner and journal. You can find all these items and more at pinkandmane.com or ask your local retailer. And until next time, my friends, keep living the creative life.